Chapter 0.0 The gods have forsaken us, he muttered, staring into the abyss where the ancient altar once stood, now reduced to ruins. It was at that moment that I looked at my hands. They were full of bloody mud and iron dust that glittered under the moonlight. They knew, and still. His crying voice echoed through the endless expanse of the forest. His voice cold and empty. He had seen hell, and yet here he stands, not because he wanted to help himself, but because he had hope that he can save them. And yet, at the end of the world, where all stories began, there indeed was nothing left. No, I shouted, not knowing how I got strength to do it. As far as I was aware, we may have already been dead. Still, I had hope it was not all for nothing. Even if we die, even if we cannot exit this cursed place, at least they should be safe. We fulfilled our cause and stopped it. A tear came flowing over my cheek as I spoke. I did not look like a leader at that moment, but I knew that even if we are as good as dead, our life was not for nothing. Chapter 0.1 Year 314 of the Third Epoch, Kingdom of Valeria, Town of Lunareth. Stand down, soldier. What is thy purpose? An angry voice echoed as Commander Thornrack spotted a lone soldier entering the training grounds. Sir, I bring news. It turns out that the prince escaped into the woods. The ranger team believes that the Huntress clan may have interfered with the gate. The prince should not have been able to escape on his own. He was guarded according to your instructions. We believe that. Not another word. Thornrack stopped the young soldier's report and proceeded to give orders to capture the prince. Prince Adela the Kind is the third prince to the throne of the kingdom of Serathis. He is quite an ambitious man who puts his kingdom before his own needs. That ambition led Queen Millicent the Golden of Serathis to secretly sell him off to the kingdom of Valeria. Prince Adela was a dangerous individual and a rival to the throne to his older brothers, who were Millicent's favorites. His brothers Abel and Arwar are twins, destined to rule the throne as one, or at least that is their mother's wish. However, they do not share that dream with her. Commander Thornrack was entrusted with the task of keeping the young prince hidden from the eyes of the public, but due to Adela's unique ability to manifest his will through soul gems, he was able to contact his personal guerrilla army, commonly known as the Huntress clan. The Huntress clan had been informed that he died in an enemy raid on Paul's Creek, where Adela was first captured and sold to Ilaria. But after discovering what had truly happened, they turned on the queen in a public assassination attempt. Half of the Huntress clan was killed, while the others escaped to aid the prince. Chapter 1.0 The Prince and the Swan. My lord, 3 of Thornrack's scouts have been spotted at the lake west of here. We believe that they are aware of your escape. They are about half a day's walk from us. We should move to the other side of the mountain. There is a vast wheat field that should cover our tracks as the winds pick up. The proud but gentle voice of Kalia, my right hand, spoke to me as I was still dazed from the beating I took 2 days ago when I finally escaped Thornrack's camp. We shall do as we must. I trust your assessment, Kalia. I have full trust in her. After all, she freed me from captivity with her leadership and strategy. She is quite a skilled warrior with a bow, but what's interesting is that she carries a strong spirit aura, giving her high magical potential. Since I can read souls, it is quite obvious to me what her true aura is, but I cannot rely on her too much. She is powerful, but even she cannot do everything on her own. I watched her as she armed herself and prepared to move. Her white scaled armor flashed under the morning sun. I just noticed that her hair was the same pale white color. She is above average height, yet still looks quite childish. Before I had time to take it all in, she called the other warriors to form a plan. Sir, if I may, The situation we are in now leaves us with only two options. We can run to Ilarion and try to join up with the rebel forces at the guild, or we can head for the border and cross to the free cities of Nimaris by boat. We cannot really march anywhere else, since Thornrak is circling us from the west. A young new recruit named Alina spoke directly to me, knowing that Kalia would turn her down. We are all aware that Kalia wishes to settle the score with Thornrak, but she is against putting me in danger. She plans to get us to safety and face Thornrak alone. That is something I cannot approve. Indeed, we shan't allow ourselves to be drawn into a fight. Every soul here is sacred. Therefore, I will not allow any battle until we hold the advantage. It is for that reason that we shall proceed to the capital Ilarion. As soon as those words left my mouth, Kalia's gaze shifted away. I suppose she truly wanted to fight, but it cannot come to that. Not now, not until we are ready. We packed the rest of our belongings and set out for the fields. Kalia rode her horse next to me. She looked worried and somewhat frustrated, but I could not resist. Hey. No reaction. Hey. A bit louder. Sorry, my lord. I was deep in thought, for it was you who saw what I desired, and yet you did not grant me what I pleaded for. She was clearly angry now. She frowned and turned her head forward. It is true I did not wish for you to fight. Not now. I am well aware of your connection to that man, and the spirit that once bound the two of you. It is true that he deserves to die, but what do we fight for if we fight in rage? She looked at me firmly, closed one eye slightly, then turned her head forward again. Sir, if I may, is not thy fight driven by rage as well? While she was not entirely right, for some reason I could not utter another word. After about 3 hours of intense riding in complete silence between us, Kalia stopped the column and suggested that we rest for the day and continue at midnight, so that we remain hidden under the night sky. While the troops were resting, Kalia came to me. She made intense eye contact. She has such beautiful blue eyes, comparable to the color of the sky. Sir, I must apologize, for it was not mine to question what our Lord fights for. She truly sounded apologetic. Worry not. I am the one you should be angry with. It is I who commanded what shall be done, and I stand by my word. I still believe it is what must be done. She looked away for a moment, then took out her pocket knife and nicked her finger so that blood would flow. Sir, you are aware of the swan? Indeed, I am. My life belongs to you, but my past belongs to where you took me from. A small tear ran down her cheek as she spoke. I wish for my past to end and for me to be born a newborn in your service alone. I see. Then lend me thy strength, for I am the one who needs you, and the one who may use you for my cause. My bow belongs to your cause. After she said that, she turned and rushed into the woods. We rested until midnight and continued our journey in silence. As the morning sun rose, we entered the endless fields Kalia spoke of. They were golden brown, stretching as far as the eye could see. The wind covered our tracks and the wheat, making it impossible for Thornrak's men to follow us. After 2 full days of riding, we finally reached the city walls. I cannot believe the fields were so vast that they led us all the way here. But indeed, here we are. The capital city of Ilarion. Chapter 1.1 The Guild. Ilarion is a massive city in scale. The great forest that once surrounded the fields is embedded within the very core of the city. It has been built around ancient trees, with stone walls raised to protect them. Entering the city was not difficult at all, since rarely anyone except the royal family knew how I looked. It was a blessing that one of the huntresses originated from Ilarion, therefore, she had all the necessary paperwork to get us inside. In the heart of the city lies a guild that specializes in training adventurers for quests. King Alaric the Wise is a pacifist at heart, but he understands the threat of monsters that lurk in the shadows. When I was sold to him, he intended to use me to extract vital information about the forces of our kingdom and our allies, the kingdom of Vardrath. I am well aware that he only wishes to preserve peace, but if such information were to leak to other nations, it would be disastrous for our economy. Perhaps it may prove useful when I attempt to claim the throne, but for now, I can only hope that I survive this journey. As we entered the guild, a young mage at the reception reserved a table for us and had us seated. "It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Adventurers Guild. I had a tip that if I saw a man surrounded by girls, I should seat you here and give you this note." Kalia looked at her at first, then turned away and began unfolding the note. "Sir, this is not what I had hoped for." "What is it?" I asked, trying to read the note from her hands. "They are all dead." She jumped. The note fell onto the table, her pale finger pointing at the message written upon it. "Sir, it is with deep regret that I write this letter. The mission to recruit the rebel forces has backfired. The moment the rebels joined us, they turned us over to the local enforcers and we were imprisoned. As the leader of the platoon, I was granted the right to send a single message to the guild. Tomorrow, they will hang us. I wish for you to live your best life. It was an honor to serve you, my lord. Yours forever loyal, Saren the Sly. This is bad. I have lost a portion of my forces and with them, the hope of rebuilding through the rebels. The only thing that may save us is the fact that no one knows who we are. I thank you for this note. It was not good news, but it was news nonetheless. May we join the guild as adventurers. For now, it is all we can do." I turned my gaze to the girls as I asked the question. "We had hoped that you might consider joining the guild. It would be my pleasure to take your party under my personal supervision and offer you my full assistance in helping make this kingdom a better place. What shall be the name of your party?" She turned to me as she asked. The girls fell silent, glancing at one another. "The moon has guided us. To the moon we owe our thanks. Write the name Moonshade, for it is where we lurk." Honestly, no other idea came to mind. Moonshade it is. I officially welcome you to the Adventurers Guild of Valarian. Your party is registered as a new rank. That means not many people will be willing to entrust you with their requests. Do what you can to build a name for yourselves so that you may receive more work. The guild will assign you a few jobs regardless of your reputation, but make sure to prove yourselves through them. Bonus chapter: Thornrock the Valiant. Ever since I was a young boy, I watched soldiers go into battle. The last king of Valeria, Erwin the Destroyer, was an aggressive leader who sought to claim all nearby resources under his control. He believed in war, unlike his son Alaric. He waged so many battles that even his own army began to turn against him. Me, on the other hand, I admired his will for battle. I began serving under him as soon as I was of age to join the army. After a long campaign to conquer the mines near the border of the Iron Principality, I was welcomed as a hero and promoted to a higher rank of command. It was not long after that the people finally snapped and turned on the king. He was killed and dismembered in his own throne room. His head was impaled on a spear and placed in front of the high palace in Ilarion. I looked at my king and I finally understood. It was not him I was fighting for. I was fighting so that one day I could kill the spirit that bound me. She was a lone girl, pale skin and white hair, eyes as blue as the sky. A gentle smile, but I knew the moment I saw her. She had seen death. And it was by none other than my king. I knew it. Still, I pressed the matter, and that is when she snapped at me. She was crying for her mother's death. I did not understand it at the time. She had only her sister left. A lone, pale white swan. The spirit saw us. It wanted to speak to us. She firmly believed it was her mother. But I knew the moment I saw it. It was not a mortal spirit. It was not even alive. It took her sister's spirit. The swan took it. It tried to take mine as well, but my soul was different. It entered me. Now she wants me dead. I killed her sister. It was me. I killed her. It was me. The swan entered me. Now I want revenge. It was the swan. Chapter 1.2 Ilara the Exile. For the last 3 months, we have been working jobs for the guild. Our objective is to gain access to the High Palace by raising our party name above the others. We work under King Alaric's nose so that he may not suspect us. It is true that we have had some close calls in the last few quests, but as time passes, our notoriety should fade. If we gain access to the High Palace, that could guarantee our escape. The king does not want us to get killed, but he wants to gain information that could injure my position as prince. Not many people know that I am alive, and for now, I will keep it that way. The problem is my mother. If I return without a plan, she will kill me on sight. Once we get into the High Palace, we will be able to access all the tree lines that connect all major teleportation sites. Using my soul aura, I was able to sense the type of magic needed to access the teleportation sites and replicate the path to them. The problem is that not all of my girls know how to use adept-level magic, so they will not really be able to teleport by themselves. That is why we need to find a suitable mage to help realize our plan. Kalia, the plan is indeed simple. The girl can use magic, but does not know how to fight. You just need to subdue her so we can bring her here, and I will do the rest. As you wish, my lord. Yes, we found a suitable candidate. The niece of the current king, who owns a magic shop filled with cursed items. She is the one who may aid us on our journey, and perhaps on our quest to bring an age of tranquility to this world. Perhaps it is true that she may be of help, but for now, the only help comes from the actions we put into our cause. That is the reason I have turned my ambitions toward improving my combat abilities. As a prince, I was taught how to fight to protect myself, but after these past few jobs, it became clear that my will requires experience to produce results. Some may consider me an average fighter, but when you place me next to any of my huntresses, my only advantage is that I can read their souls. In a real fight against them, I would not survive long enough to make use of it. For quite some time, I trained my swordsmanship with Kalia. She was kind, yet dangerous, which made her the perfect teacher. By day, we worked as a party, and by night I would get my ass beaten by a girl with long white hair and white-scaled armor. Indeed, over time I improved and was able to fight back, but my inability to adapt to unknown circumstances still made me ineffective. A few days after I gave the order to capture the mage, the girls finally returned with something. That something was not the mage. Though, I imagined it would not be that simple. According to their report, she had discovered our plan and built up a barrier that would keep out any marked souls. When exactly did she mark their souls? No matter. Working with souls is my specialty. The night I received the report, I decided to visit the mage myself. Indeed, there was a barrier that repelled my soul. It was a simple spell called Giola. That spell grants the caster's soul sight, allowing them to feel the presence of others around them. As I feared, it is not that she marked individual souls, she simply senses when someone approaches and decides whether they may enter. Fortunately, I'm able to conceal my presence using a spell called FIS. That spell turns my soul into countless minor spirits so that I may not be discovered as a single entity by the barrier. As I entered the barrier, I felt something strange. My body felt out of place. My mind drifted as I tried to grasp what had happened. As it turns out, I had been lured into a trap. She had thought of my possible intentions and captured my spirits as they exited my soul. She is quite skilled to have such a refined sense for spirits. I cannot help thee. A soft voice echoed through my ears. It was thee that intended to use me as a tool, for I am no one's tool, and it is not thy right to use me as such. I do understand your concerns, but try to understand me. It was not my will that brought me to this country. My only wish is to enjoy what is mine and leave to you what is yours. As I spoke those words, a few spirits flew back to me and entered my body through my throat. Indeed, it was not your intent, but I do not wish to harm my people to aid you. Perhaps we can come to an agreement over a cup of tea. Her shimmering voice echoed as more spirits entered my body at a faster pace. I am willing to accommodate your proposal, but what is thy intent? Thy mind seems conflicted. I asked, even though I already knew the answer. Thy thought is correct. My mind is indeed conflicted. I do not wish to go against the word of my lord, the king. Yet, I wish to change the state of the kingdom as it is. And I am well aware that you may help me in my cause. For my king may torture, but never kill. Indeed, it was as she said. I felt yet another presence, so I pressed the matter. Who lurks behind those walls? As I asked the question, a sharp voice pierced my mind. It is the girl you seek, the mage you require. It was not I who stood before you when you entered this home, but the presence of that mage. So that is where my soul went? It was but a conduit to reveal my intent to you? It is true. She heard your spirits and felt your pain. She may not speak, as her voice is not of this world, but she hears and shows her intent. So what is it that you propose? At first, there was silence. Then a gentle presence spoke directly to my soul. It was not language as spoken or written, it was more like a description of the soul itself. At that moment, the barrier fell and the girl before me disappeared. May I use thee to spread my cause? I asked cautiously, yet there was no response. Only a faint movement in the air until I saw a small figure with blonde hair, dressed in black robes, jump onto a chair. Indeed, you are who I need, a gentle spirit that seeks justice and is not afraid to do what must be done. Her small head crept over the table as she looked at me with her green eyes. You felt my motivations, yet you hold no grudge toward my cause. I will do as I must to provide full support to your cause as well. It was then that I finally gained an ally who understood me and felt my sorrow. She shared my ambitions. I felt her mind. I felt her soul. She was the same as me. She was alone. Her soul reached out to me and tried to convey a single name. Ilara. The soul of a deceased girl who was indeed the king's niece. Her soul had taken on a mortal form, and she is now trying to understand why. Chapter 1.3 Soul Slave Ilara. As a young royal, it was my duty to excel in academic fields. One of the core subjects was magic, and it truly captured my heart. I wanted to become a mage when I grew up, but as the king's niece, I was expected to become a diplomat. Every day, after lessons were over, I would sneak out of the castle and enter a hollow within the ancient tree of soul. There, I met a small girl even smaller than me. She would teach me everything she knew. By her words, all life force comes from the soul and returns to the soul. The soul is everything. It is what gives this world the energy to continue existing. I did not understand those words at the time. Then she gave me a soul stone. It was a shining purple rock that glowed under the moonlight. She asked me if I could read the contents of the stone. As I poured my spirits into it, I felt my own soul crack under the sheer pressure of what was inside. My soul was not strong enough to contain it. And indeed it was too vast to remain within the stone. The girl, in her attempt to save me, began pouring her own spirit into me to help me grasp it, but it was too late. The stone had swallowed me. In her final attempt to save me, she poured the rest of her soul into the stone and brought me back. She left a fragment of herself within it, and as I emerged, I tore a part of her and forced it into my own body. The next thing I remember, I was surrounded by blood. I could see spirits coming and going. I could feel her insides pulse on the ground as her body lay motionless. One of the guards heard the commotion and came to investigate, only to find me trying to resurrect a dismembered body lying in a pool of blood. In the air, I could feel her spirit drifting around me, carrying the remnants of her life. But there was nothing I could do. On that day, I swore to study magic no matter what anyone else said. I was banished from the royal grounds and sent into the open world. I joined the Adventurers Guild under the name Andromeda, taking on quests to expand my studies in the field. Yet even after all this time, the best I could do was summon her spirit to speak through my will. I could not make her speak for herself. I could not hear her resentment. I could not hear her curse me for killing her. I only wanted us to live and to love. But it was too late. The fragment of her that remained within me was not enough to bring her back. Still, I did not give up. As I conducted experiments to save my mentor and my friend, a certain spell transformed spirits into a form of sealing magic that targeted my body. It struck me and sealed my voice, so that I may never speak again. Since then, I have used my friend's spirit to communicate and to keep myself hidden from those who seek my research. A group of scholars from the free cities of Nemaris once attempted to capture me and use me as a test subject. Fearing they might find me again, I stopped using my real name in the Adventurers Guild and instead opened a magic shop to settle down. Many people came with enchanted items. Most sought to remove the enchantments often created unintentionally when the souls of their loved ones entered objects capable of holding them. Business was good. I even mastered my soul transfusion skills. I was called upon by the greatest magical academies in the kingdom to present my understanding of how magic works and how the soul is connected to it. But to be honest, even now I am not certain. Spirits create the soul. The soul creates life. Life manipulates the spirit. And thus, magic is born. It is as simple as manipulating the life force around you using your own life force. The soul is merely a container for that force. Indeed, it is life that is manipulated. She died to prove that to me. She died so that I may understand her words. All life force comes from the soul and returns to the soul. It has come full circle. Chapter 1.4 Magic Tutor. I am sorry, but this is the only form I can use to speak directly to you. The small girl spoke to me, a faint purple outline circling her neck. She looked at me with her round black eyes, which appeared almost majestic beneath her long blonde hair. If I did not know what she was, I might have mistaken her for a dryad or a fairy. It is perfectly fine. I mind not your appearance. Now, let me ask you directly, would you be able to hone my magical skills? For my soul is strong, yet my spirit is weak. You are the best at what you do. Your skill has been heard of even in my country. Oh my! It would be a pleasure to train your aura. You have great potential, but as I can sense, you have never taken a soul. I am glad that it is so, for your soul is pure. A pure soul holds great potential. As you may already feel, my own soul is far from pure. Indeed, I feel that your being is in conflict. But the best I can do is feel. I was never granted a master who could truly teach me the ways of magic, only those who did the bare minimum with my abilities. Royal teachings are all I know. A few basic spells, the rest is instinct and a strong aura. Yes, I can feel it. Your soul is like a rough, unpolished gem. Later that evening. Shall we begin our training, Master? Oh, please, drop the master part. My master was the only one worthy of that title. As you wish. Please, just call me Laura. We are royalty all the same, why not address each other as equals? Even if I have fallen from grace, it still runs in my blood. I thank you, Ilara. Now, may we begin? Yes, yes. First, let us start at the beginning. Life. It is all around us. We see it, we feel it, yet we cannot truly grasp what it is. Life comes from spirits that reside within the soul of all that possesses life. The manipulation of spirits is the art of magic. It is a force built within us, one that pulls and pushes our bodies at our will. There is magic that uses incantations, and there is magic that is directly tied to your intent. We call that magic the aura, for it surrounds you and bends to your will. As for incantations, they are instructions given to spirits, commands that shape how they act. Incantations usually use letters that resemble the concept you wish to achieve. For example, my barrier was Giola. G stands for grave. U for unwavering. L gives it a lingering, limitless nature. And finally, A sets it to area mode. Quite simple. This makes far more sense than what the scholars at the castle taught me. They only made me memorize spells and their uses, but there was no real explanation. Thank you. But I wonder, what does my counterspell FIS mean? FIS is a spell used to bypass barriers. It essentially turns you into something lifeless, with only a few scattered spirits so that the barrier does not detect you. F gives your spirits far reach. I provides direction and intersection of intent so your soul knows what to do. S allows you to slip through, like a slither. Now it makes sense, but why did it not work when I entered your barrier? Because your lack of understanding was outmatched by my mastery of incantations. My spirits were more refined, more disciplined. It is all about giving the right orders at the right moment. As you know, many words begin with the same letter, so clarity of intent is essential. Is there a limit to spells? To how they work or how they are made? Well, the short answer is yes. The long answer is, if you can truly visualize spirits, you can shape any concept into a spell. Incantations are merely guidelines, tools to help spirits understand your intent. So I still do not quite understand the difference between that and aura. They are the same spirits, the difference lies in how you command them. Aura is always present. You are quite gifted with your aura, some might even call you a prodigy. But controlling it requires more than simply feeling souls or reading the room. Aura responds directly to your intent. I can feel the world around me with my aura. When I sense the flow of spirits brushing against me, I can see their intent, I can feel their emotions. Emotion is what this is all about. Everything that lives carries emotion. No one can change that. You learn quickly, I like that about you. But may we continue another time? My aura grows weaker the longer I remain in this state. I need to rest. It was a pleasure, Ilara. For the next few days, we trained constantly. We trained even longer once I began sustaining her soul with my own spirits. Soon, I would be ready to return home. Chapter 1.5 Castle Deep. A year has passed since we arrived in the city of Ilarion. We had prepared ourselves to access the branches of the ancient tree so that we may use teleportation sites and return home to reclaim what belongs to us. Over the past year, we have made a name for ourselves. Moonshade finally received an accepted quest that takes place inside the palace walls. We intend to complete it so that we may find a way to the branches, and upon finishing it, we plan to regroup and escape. Morning on the day of the quest, palace front gate. Sir, according to Miss Alara, the magic circle is ready. She has found a way to the branches and will begin soul bonding as soon as we clear the dungeon, so that we may maximize the time window. Thank you, Kalia. That is what I like to hear. Our quest was simple in theory. The dungeon beneath the palace had opened, and a group of high-ranked adventurers was required to clear it. The girls with me were skilled fighters, so we did not expect problems. Yet the moment we entered the dungeon, something was wrong. The aura had completely changed. Using my magic, I could not sense a single soul. The dungeon was empty. And yet, metallic sword clashes echoed through the darkness. As we went deeper, even those sounds began to disappear. Weird, isn't it? I turned to the girls as I spoke. I feel no presence, yet the sounds are as clear as day. The moment those words left my mouth, a deep, angry voice echoed behind me. Indeed, you dare not greet an old friend, do you? Prince Adela. Not sign yes. I remember that voice. Commander Thornrack. Why are you here? Isn't it obvious? I am here to capture you and make you pay for turning me into a fool before His Majesty King Alaric. I understand you feel wronged, but this is not the time to cross swords with me. Fear not. I will keep you alive as a gift to my king. He forbids unnecessary murder, but he also said you may die if there is no other option. You misunderstand. You are speaking to the true heir of the throne of Serathis. Your claim means nothing to me. Your life is nothing but a stain on my record. It is your purpose to fall here. And then he moved. A precise slash cut through the air. I used my spell FUL to escape his reach with a wide leap. F fast, U ultimate, L leap. Again. And again. But no matter how I dodged, he was always there. Elsewhere, my girls were already engaged in battle with what looked like an army of 50 soldiers. They were holding far better than expected, considering there were only 8 of them, including Kalia. I drew my sword and met Thornrack head-on. Steel clashed against steel. After several perfect blocks, my arm was forced into a bad angle. My grip weakened. He saw the opening and struck. My blade shattered in half. I jumped back once more, but this time he did not follow. He stopped in the center of the battlefield, and his gaze shifted. Not to me, but to one of my huntresses. We meet again, you swine. Kalia stepped forward, her voice burning with rage. I will cut you down and feed you to beasts for what you did. It was not me. It was not me. It was the swan. The pale swan cursed me. You keep saying that, but we both saw what happened. You devoured my sister's soul. You tore it out like an animal and left her body empty in a pool of blood. She trembled, but her voice did not break. You killed her. Thornrack froze. For the first time, his confidence cracked. Reason with me, you saw it too. You saw the swan. I saw something, yes. But it entered you. And it was your hands that killed her. If I kill you, at least her soul may find peace. Silence fell over the battlefield. I could feel it. This was not just rage anymore. This was grief. And something deeper. I stepped in. Hey, Kalia, Thornrack. Both of them turned. Sir, let me kill him here and now. I have a better idea. I might be able to bring your sister back, at least in a similar form as Alara did with her friend. Kalia's eyes widened slightly. Sir, I do not want her to suffer anymore. I understand, but this is not suffering. She is still a spirit. Spirits return to the soul. She is not truly gone. That line landed differently. Thornrack lowered his weapon slightly. His grip tightened, then loosened, then again tightened. His breathing became unstable. You would truly do that? Yes. A long silence. For a moment, he looked like he would strike anyway. But then, his shoulders dropped. The sword slowly lowered. I have lived with that moment every night. If there is even a chance, even a fragment of her remains. His voice broke. Then do it. I do not wish to carry this anymore. Kalia did not move. Her hatred was still there, but it was buried under pain. I only want her back, even if it is not perfect. I understand. I placed my hand over Thornrack's head. My aura entered his soul. It was heavy, dark, empty. Not evil, just broken. But inside it I felt it. A fragment of white. The swan. And inside it, a red fragment. Kalia's sister. So that's where it is. I pulled the swan fragment out. It resisted. Screamed. Twisted. But I separated it. In my hand remained a white mass with red fragments inside. The red fragments were unstable, still clinging to the swan. That is when I understood. They needed a vessel. I placed my other hand on Kalia. Her aura was strong, stable, warm. I transferred a portion of her soul into the fragment, not to replace her sister, but to anchor her. To give her somewhere to belong. The swan fragment began to dissolve and return to Thornrack. But the red fragments did not follow. Instead, they drifted and gently settled into Kalia's aura. Not forced, not trapped, accepted. For the first time, peace formed. The battlefield went silent. It is done. Kalia dropped to her knees. Thornrack fell forward slightly, catching himself. Both of them were crying, but neither spoke. Then Thornrack slowly raised his head. I thank you, Prince Adela. You have returned my honor and my sin. You saved my life as well. I am in your eternal debt. If you will allow me, I wish to accompany you. I can aid your swordsmanship and strengthen your core. It would be my pleasure, Commander. Please call me Thornrack. From this moment on, that is all I am. A long silence followed. Then, a handshake. Not of victory, but of shared weight, finally set down. Chapter 1.6 Return to Sarathis. As we exited the dungeon, Thornrack explained that the king had already crafted a plan to capture us, since he had anticipated we would attempt something like this. He had recognized me the moment he saw us at the palace front gate. The path was clear on our way to the branches, so we arrived to Alara within a few minutes. Thornrack stood before the army he now commanded and began his speech. I, former Commander Thornrack, hereby pronounce you all free of duty. I am no longer in the service of His Majesty King Alaric. From this moment on, I serve Prince Adela, a charismatic leader with a pure heart. I wish you all the best. Be well. You are dismissed. His troops listened in silence. but none of them moved. Then a shy voice rose from the crowd. "Commander, we wish to stay by your side. Let us follow Prince Adela as well. We trust your judgment. May it be my new lord who decides your destiny." Thornrack said those words, his voice trembling slightly. A single tear even ran down his cheek. "If you pledge your allegiance to me, I swear I will bring a bright future upon this world." I believed my words. After all, the greater my army, the better. Ilara had already prepared a magic circle large enough to transport all of our souls. With a bright purple flash, we were transported to the port of Isis in the kingdom of Sarathas. Port Isis lies about a 3-day journey from the capital, Verdelaine. However, with 50 new men, the journey became longer and more difficult. We had no horses, since they were left at the palace gates, and even if we had them, they would not have sped things up significantly. We would have needed 50 more. After a week of intense travel, we finally reached the gates of Verdelaine. When I was a child, these walls made me feel safe. Now I only wonder when Arden's blade will slit my throat. Arden the Silver-Tongued is a master spy and assassin in service of Queen Millicent. His blade is second only to the Queen herself. I wondered if she had already sent him after me. When we approached the gate guards, they froze. They believed I was dead, but now I stood before them with an army at my back. "Guards, open the gate. I must speak to the Queen." Without a word, the gates opened. But on the other side, there was no resistance as I had expected. 2 figures in crimson robes stood before me. Abelar were. What is the meaning of this? They were indeed my brothers. They looked at me in silence. Then Abel finally spoke. "Brother, you are late. Our mother, Queen Millicent, has already abdicated the throne. We now rule together. We are aware this is not how you envisioned it, but it is how it is. The last we heard of you, you were dead. Yet here you stand. It is true, we knew the truth for some time now, about you being sold to that monster they call a king, a man who tortures but never grants the mercy of death. You were not supposed to return alive. We had hoped you would, but that was before we understood our mother's plan." Our war continued as Abel paused for breath. "Our mother wanted us to rule as one. She believed the combined potential of our souls would bring prosperity. You were simply never strong enough, too weak to give this kingdom what it needs. But we can do it. Together, we are stronger than you or her ever were." "Did our mother hand over the throne willingly?" I asked, fearing the answer. Abel nodded. "You are quick to understand, brother. Even Arden saw it. He helped us along the way and removed our mother from her position. But do not misunderstand. We will not kill you. You are still our brother, and we wish you well. You are simply not needed here anymore. Perhaps you should return to where you came from." The gates closed instantly. We were locked out. Silence followed. "What should we do now?" Ilara asked, looking at me. "We return. There is nothing left to do here. No sign of rebellion remains within the capital. She is gone. They took their chance and they used it well. I cannot deny it. They are stronger than I am." Thornrack stepped forward and knelt. "Sir, how may I be of use to you?" "Get me a sword, pure as the night sky. Infuse it with the greatest soul stone you can find, and bless its blade in my name. For I am Adela. Only Adela. And I will bring down the kingdom of Valeria." Chapter 1.7 Dark Voices. 2 weeks later, Port Isis. "Sir, your sword is ready," Thornrack said with a happy voice. "Whose head is at stake?" he asked curiously. I shall claim the throne of Valeria and challenge my brothers. Thornrak had once pledged his allegiance to King Alaric of Valeria, but the moment I said those words, pure joy came over him. He knew Alaric was a weak king with a monstrous nature. He does not believe in killing, but he is perfectly fine with torture that leaves a person to slowly die from their wounds. That man is a monster, and his throne is the perfect goal to chase. The sword Thornrak handed me was not ordinary. Its body was forged from silver, and the blade was coated with a layer of enchanted ice. At the center, where hilt and blade intertwined, there was a dark purple soul gem filled with bound mortal souls. This sword will do. Tomorrow morning we go to the teleportation site Alara prepared. It should take us back into the branches. From there, we go straight to the throne room. You will command your troops and disable the king's guards. My huntresses will support you. No matter what happens, do not touch the king. He is mine. State the plan to the rest of your troops. Kalia and the others are already aware and prepared. Yes, my lord. I had never seen him so enthusiastic before. He accepted me as a leader almost too quickly. Perhaps he knows something I do not. No matter. As long as he follows my orders, I can use him. Still. Since when had I become so angry? No matter. Right now, I only need to grow stronger. I need to become able to stand against my brothers. And then, a deep voice echoed inside my mind. I could help. Who are you, or better yet, where are you? Oh, me? You have already met me. After all, you are the one who extracted that little girl's soul from me. You are the Swan? They call me many names. Swan is one of them. You may have heard of legendary adventurers who tried to seal me away inside altars. They died believing they succeeded. How amusing. I am still here. Alive. And I am far more useful than you think. What can you give me that I do not already possess? Raw power. I am, in a sense, a deity. I can grant you my power. And you have a strong affinity for souls. At what cost? Oh, nothing. I do not need anything. Existence itself is already entertainment enough. Thank you, but I will refuse. Power gained without effort only weakens true growth. Suit yourself. But understand this. No training will ever replace even a fragment of what I could give you. Then, its presence vanished.